Welcome to another episode, a dramatic,
epic.
Dun, 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 dun. Is that close?
That's as far as you can go, or we're going to get sued.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Copyright
Episode
infringement.
of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
Allison is here with us today.
What's up?
Allison, why are you here with us today?
For many reasons. Mostly because my wonderful nurse, Brett, was so kind enough to send me a set of Game of Thrones beers from Ommegang Brewery in Cooperstown, New York.
So, I'm not a fan of the show whatsoever. None, but you two are.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Brian, you're almost a closet fan, right?
I'm not I'm so out of the closet.
But you
it's
make
not even
fun
funny.
of the fans on the
I just
social.
make fun of everybody.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
I'm
No one is safe from Brian.
I like you to, my whole thing is, I want you to just think, right? Just look in the mirror and maybe you take things too serious. It's just a TV show. In the end of the end of the day.
Are you directly referring to our friend Charity Crawford here, or no? Just
You said that. I didn't.
All right.
What qualifies as taking it too serious? Because I was crying watching this.
No, that's okay.
episode.
I did too. We're gonna get into that.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay, so we have 4 different beers here from Brewery Ommegang, Cooperstown, New York.
Not
Ommegang
Brewery.
No, they are way too fancy for a regular name
I
like
said
that.
that
Right,
It's okay.
yes.
That's why we're here.
Brewery
Thank you.
Ommegang. Yeah. Okay, so the first one, Mother of Dragons, smoked porter and Creek ale blend.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Never had that before.
No, seems weird. Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, sour blonde ale blend.
Yep.
Sounds yummy. King in the North. Who's the king in the North?
Jon Snow.
Yeah,
Well-
currently. I mean, you got
Okay,
That's a tough question.
Barrel aged imperial stout. Okay, and then the last one is Hand of the Queen barley wine ale.
That sounds good.
So fun little 4-pack that your nurse sent to us. That we're
Yeah,
gonna-
he sent me a picture of it, and I was like, I need that. Send it to me right now.
All right.
And he did.
And he sent it to you.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So which one do we want to drink first?
Here's what I would say.
Okay.
Just my suggestion would be we want to do the blonde first, just because I think if it is in fact sour, that was a big pop.
Did you hear that?
We don't want it to we don't want to go stout to sour since we only have one glass.
True.
Oh, I was going to suggest we do a little rinse or
Yeah,
ask if we do a
we don't have
rinse.
time for that.
And you can't see it, but it came with a chalice. So I have a Brewery Ommegang Game of Thrones chalice.
It even
and
says Brewery Ommegang.
I know.
Yeah, right?
And Game of Thrones on the other side. Make sure you hand wash that bad boy because that gold plating will come off if your dishwasher that thing. I think this is the first time we've ever had to
Oh, that's a big pour.
say
Oh, my.
a spoilers
Oh yeah.
sort of thing. We've never really talked about current pop culture.
That's true.
We're old men, so we usually are, talking about 80s things.
Yeah, true. So
If you're not
spoilers.
totally caught up, maybe
How many episodes in are we on season 8?
2.
2 or as we're recording this,
Okay.
2.
2. Okay. So it is a big pour. You're right. I won't pour you as much next time.
That's okay.
There we go.
It smells
this
really
is-
great.
This first one is the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. Who's the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms?
Allison?
Allison, do you know who the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms is?
Oh, it's Daenerys Targaryen. Oh, wait, no. That's Cersei Lannister.
I don't know who any of those people are.
So she is played by
I'm going to say that a lot.
Lena Headley.
Yeah. You know her, right?
I do know her, yeah.
So she has become the Queen of the Seven Kingdoms because she married Robert Baratheon.
Yeah, that happened season 1. I think it was already before season 1, but
And
that's how we
then-
pick up the story, yeah.
Robert dies. Her first son Joffrey takes the throne.
I've heard of this guy. Everyone's super
does.
happy when he died, yes.
He was big in the meme world.
He sucks.
He still is big in the meme world, actually. That one still goes around.
So I like this one a lot.
It's very good.
It's almost a saison-y kind of flavor.
It definitely has a saison start out, and then the bubbles for sure.
I'm a very amateur beer drinker as far as I know very little, but it gives me a reminder of like a Hefeweizen sour.
There you go.
Maybe a little banana-y. Could be.
Yeah, it's got some fruit flavor for sure for me.
Interesting.
Smells great though. I love that smell. Good
So,
Belgian.
since we've got a guest, Brian, let's
Yeah.
we'll get our house in order here. How's
Okay.
that? I'll go through my stuff first, and then I have a feeling that I won't have a whole lot of input after that since I don't watch.
Well, you'll have some. I've got things to
Okay.
bring you in. Don't worry. I'm not going to leave you hanging.
Okay. Well, so I'll go through the brewery real quick. It is not easy to get to Cooperstown, New York. It's not. The Baseball Hall of Fame is
home
there.
of the Hall of Fame. I was
Yes.
just going to say.
Yeah, and I would have already gone there if it wasn't for just the difficult nature in getting there. I mean, you
Okay.
have to fly into either Albany or Syracuse, and then drive like an hour to 2 hours to get there.
This is another discussion for another day. We could really get after another
yeah.
beer from these guys and get into the history of that baseball museum. So we'll just sidebar that.
Totally. Okay. Opened in 1997. Their first beer was, help me with this, an Abbey Dubbel.
A double, yeah.
Double?
I call it a double.
Dubbel.
Yeah.
Okay. Trappist-style dark ale, which, if you know anything about Atlas, that would be Frank, our IT guy.
Yeah.
That's his favorite style, Trappist style.
Yep.
Seems kind of strange, but
That's, old school flavors right there. So
I guess. Let's see. Well, here's the history of the name Ommegang. I thought it was super interesting, and I'll just read this right on their website. It's when King Charles V, the Holy Roman Emperor, when King Charles V, the Holy Roman Emperor, visited medieval Brussels in 1549 with hundreds from his royal court, local merchants, vendors, cooks, brewers, magicians, theater troupes, dancers, and more lined up around the city walls to join in a celebration and encourage. And as his entourage passed by, that parade became known as the Ommegang,
oh, that's cool.
a word that means come together or walking about.
Which is what you do with beer.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, so it kind of fits.
If that had happened on this television show we're talking about today, a lot of people would have died.
Probably.
There would have been an assassination attempt or something like that. There probably wasn't a whole lot of fun having.
Yeah, you never know. Is there like Secret Service for the King Charles? Would that be the?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they're
When did that say?
1549.
Okay.
A long
Wow.
time ago. Yeah. They currently have distribution in 47 states. So virtually, I would
Wonder
guess
which three they don't.
It didn't say. I'm going to say Alaska, Hawaii, and
Let's pick just a real random one, like
Utah.
yeah. Okay,
I bet Utah. Yeah.
sounds right.
Yep. Alaska, Hawaii, Utah. Parent company is Duvel Mortgat in Belgium.
I think you nailed that one.
I think so too. Yes, Mortgat. Fourth
Duvel.
generation family-owned business out of Belgium, was established in 1871, so it goes way back. They were the initial investor in Ommegang back in the 1990s, and then became the sole owner in 2003. And then over the years, they have purchased other breweries that we are very familiar with. One of them being Boulevard
Boulevard, yes, sir.
Ooh.
and Firestone Walker.
Yep.
So they've got a nice little empire that they've.
Firestone Walker has very similar artwork to what we're seeing on these labels as well. So
Very
it's kind
much.
of, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, very much. Let's see. They have a tour and tasting for $10. You can sample 6 different beers and walk through, and they'll have a guide walk you through and stuff. It's a pretty big brewery.
For $10, that's a great deal.
That's a really
For
good deal.
6 beers?
6 beers, 6 samples. Yeah, but
Still.
But even then,
we're
if you're
drinking.
buying tasters at the bar, you're going to spend more than $10.
yeah,
I guarantee
way
you.
more. Yeah. I thought this was interesting. It's so big. Death Cab for Cutie is playing there in June. That's how big this brewery is.
That's cool. It's like a big concert venue, huh?
That's a big deal.
Yeah, they're a great band.
Wow. They have a lot of food. They have a lot of food offerings there. The cafe is closed Monday and Tuesday, but then their hours pretty much mirror the brewery. But they have fancy stuff like poutine and truffle fries and crispy Brussels sprouts. And
Probably have a chef.
probably like that, yeah. Yeah. Brewery open Monday through Thursday, noon to 5, Friday, Saturday, noon to 7, Sunday, 11 to 4. So there's
That sounds like, yeah.
all you need to
That's
know.
a big production brewery.
Yes.
Probably one of the biggest we've featured on the show.
I would think it's probably one of the biggest, yeah.
We're talking about.
I've never heard of this brewery before. Not like I'm a huge beer drinker, but I'd never heard of them before.
They're mostly focused on like Belgian style beers and creeks and Frambros or Frambois, if you want to say it that way.
Frambral.
Just old, recipes that have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. That's the style of beers that they're usually putting out.
They kind of honor their Belgian history then? Is
Yeah,
that-
and especially some of these beers. This one for sure started out just as like a straight Belgian. And that Creek one, the one that's the porter that's mixed with the Creek, that's a style that we're going to get into once we get there. I've got some information on that too. So,
Allison's already finished her little taster of this one. Allison,
I feel like, well, I got a lot bigger pour than you guys, so I felt like I
she's
needed
trying to keep up too.
Plus, I wasn't chatting, so
what's your take on this one then? Golden style.
Yeah, what'd you
What do
like that?
think?
I think it's delicious.
Blonde. I'm sorry, sour blonde, not golden. Sour blonde.
One of my favorite styles of beer is sour. I love like the kind of sour that makes your cheeks and your
Oh, yeah.
jaw hurt. Like I love that. It's so good. But I think this is super drinkable for somebody who has like a lighter palate.
Yeah. It's a good gateway beer.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's not it doesn't like linger too much or like I feel like I wouldn't like I would be able to drink more than one in a sitting if
Oh,
I
I think
wanted
so.
to. Definitely.
6.4% alcohol by volume on this.
Yeah,
So
that's the lowest of this box set, I believe.
yeah.
So we got to break it in.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. I mean, I'm not a huge Saison fan generally. There's just enough of that flavor in there that makes it, I like it. It's fun.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. Which one do we go with?
I think the next one we should do is probably the barley wine,
Okay.
which is that one right there.
This
I've got a
is
little
Hand
bit
of the Hand of the Queen, which is for Tyrion Lannister.
yeah. He's
That's
Mr.
Space-
Dinklage.
Yeah, Space Pants, right?
Yeah.
Space-
Peter Dinklage.
Space
yeah.
Pants.
Yeah.
I dig Peter Dinklage. That guy's a great actor.
I mean, just for him being an elf is amazing enough, and then we get him in Game of Thrones.
Oh my.
Yes.
This one's gonna be strong.
Don't overserve me,
Don't.
Rich.
You do have to go back to recruiting later today.
I
That's
only
true.
had a cookie for breakfast.
I had half a steak left over from last night. I planned to hit. We're gonna all end up like Tyrion at the end of this tasting. I think he's a known lush on the show.
Yeah. He drinks and he knows things.
That's
Is
right.
that where that came from?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. He's probably his character is one of the more fun ones because he gets to say whatever he wants to say. And he's a very good deliverer of dialogue. So he's one of the fan favorites for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. I used to not really like Tyrion in the earlier episodes. I just thought he was kind of an arse.
Yeah.
And now he is one of my favorite characters for that reason. This past
Whoa,
almost
watch out.
knocked that one
Close.
over. This past episode, he's the only one that has the guts to say to Bran, like, why are you so weird? Because everyone else,
Yeah, they're kind of tiptoeing around it,
Yep.
right? You know how it is.
Brandon Stark.
So Tyrion has been in more episodes than anybody on the show.
He's
is-
the Daryl Dixon of the.
Yes, that's a Walking Dead pull for all you Walking Deaders
There
out
you go.
there. All right, this is barley wine, and we kind of talked about it last week when we were talking about wheat wines, right? So this is in that same family of double IPA, wheat wine, barley wine. So what's your first impression on this one?
Meh.
Meh. Yeah. It's kind of caramely.
It is kind of caramely.
little sweet.
Sweet.
That's what it's supposed to be. So it's hit those marks. What is the ABV on that?
ABV 10.7.
Yep.
Oh my!
That falls right in.
It smells really good. I haven't drank it yet, but
Yeah.
it smells like sweet and almost kind of like a berry smell. Almost. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not. Like I talked before, like when we did the wheat wine, I
Yeah.
wasn't a huge fan. It's kind of there.
Here's-
I've always stayed away from it.
Here's why I know that this is accurate for you because these are known to have pretty high IBUs.
Yes.
So it's underlyingly bitter. You might not taste it,
yeah.
but you know it's there. These should be 60 to 100 in the IBU, the bitterness range, where those IPAs that you like are usually like 10. So we're talking 6 to 10 more bitterness times that amount.
I like some bitter, some.
Yeah, some. But I think your threshold's probably about 50.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And this is double that. So
I didn't know Rich was. So you're not a fan of like double hopped IPAs? Too much for you?
Yeah, no, I do.
as long as it's not bitter.
Right. Yes.
He likes double dry hop as an idea, and as long as it's a hazy IPA, that's his jam. But if it's just a standard or a malty IPA and it's got 50 to 60 IBUs, then he's going to be like, it's all right.
Not my thing. West Coast style, not my thing.
Barley wines, as a rule of categorization, have to be between 8.5% and all the way up to like 15-16%. So we got off kind of easy on this one.
So the description on Untapped here, it doesn't list the IBUs on Untapped, which is weird. A beer for Tyrion, a full-bodied expression of a classic rich and malty barley wine, brewed for those who drink and know things.
There you go.
So there you go.
There's that tagline. Yep. These beers, and you were right on, they should have like a dark fruit aroma, and you picked that up right away. She's a ringer, by the way,
Yeah,
Rich. Holy
I know.
cow.
Huh?
She drinks and knows things.
You're like hammering out all the things we were supposed to detect. You're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
These can be cellared for years and years, just like those wheat wines.
Okay.
So you can this could stay, as long as we didn't open it, you could keep that bottle for 10 years and it would still be good. Some of the more available versions of this that everybody that's listening to this can get, Sierra Nevada makes one that's called Bigfoot barley wine, and that's one of the first ones that was mass produced, and it's kind of a big deal. Like Ron Burgundy.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah, this is one that they have like festivals about, and when they have it release day, it's kind of an event. I went to one at Casual Pint this year.
This style of beer?
Yeah, or just that one. It's called Bigfoot barley wine from Sierra Nevada.
Okay.
Green Flash makes one out of San Diego, but they're also now in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Lincoln, Nebraska, yeah.
That's about 11%, and that one's pretty good. Great Divide, you've been there, yes?
I have, yes.
They have one called the Old Ruffian. That's about 11%.
I've not had that.
And then there's one, Santa Fe, New Mexico. We've got some facilities down in that area.
Yes, we do.
At the Santa Fe Brewery, I went there and I brought a couple bottles of this home. It was called Chicken Killer barley wine. And that one's almost 13%.
I would try that based on the name alone.
Yeah, it's a pretty funny logo, too. It's just a guy. Well, this is a very adult episode that we're talking about.
Of course.
But he's literally choking a chicken on the label.
An actual chicken, not
Yes.
not the literal
No.
or the figurative.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a cartoon chicken.
Gotcha. Okay. Look, Dolan's laughing. He knows.
He knows about cartoon chickens.
Dolan just learned
Absolutely.
what that meant last week.
He just Googled it right now.
So yeah, that's what we got for barley wines.
Okay.
So I did beer research on 2 of the styles,
Okay, good.
and then I kind of swam off into some of the show stuff too. So
The Game of Thrones
we're
business.
gonna get into that here a little bit. So it's gonna get
Fantastic.
nerdery heavy right now.
Now I'll have something to talk about.
There you go.
Contribute.
I'm just gonna say some facts and things that I found, and maybe I'll ask you some questions. These will just be like little tidbits for people who watch the show. And then just interesting things,
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
So Jon Snow's outfit that he has to wear, Kit Harington's costume, weighs 33 pounds.
Wow.
And his sword weighs 4 pounds. And he has to wear high-heeled shoes because he's so short.
Because he's fancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both. But he's a short guy, so he has to wear high heels, and his outfit weighs 33 pounds.
Wow.
In the pilot episode of the show, there was a different actress that was portraying Daenerys Targaryen, and the episode was so terrible it never aired. They were like, this is bad.
Wow.
So she was replaced, a couple other people were replaced, and they like just rewrote the entire episode. It was so bad. They were like not going to get greenlit to go on TV.
Did you know this, Allison? Did you know?
No. I was going to say something about Jon Snow's outfit, though. I know that the fur that they use for his...
I got it on my notes. Go ahead.
Oh,
This is so exciting.
Is the lambskin rugs that you can get at IKEA, and they dye them.
Yep, they're from IKEA. And if you buy one from IKEA, they give you instructions on how to make it into a cloak. How awesome. That's like great marketing.
Get out of here.
And you
Yep.
know what? Like, they're super soft. IKEA is one of my favorite places, and they're like super, I imagine they'd be super cozy
Wow.
I mean, just
In the-
laying on one would be as close as I'm
in
gonna get.
Winterfell.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's one of my facts that
Okay.
I had that she
Okay.
knew about that one. The guy that plays Bronn, his name is Jerome Flynn, and he's a British guy, Irish, I think.
Any relation to Errol?
No, the original Robin Hood.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
No,
but
no,
he is
too bad.
half brother with another guy named Johnny Flynn, who's a musician and actor, English guy or
Okay,
British,
okay.
Irish. In the '80s, late '80s, early '90s, he was half of a pop duo that was basically like a cover band.
Oh.
But they were famous in England.
I was gonna say Wham, but that's not.
No, but it was as similar as it was two guys.
Okay.
And he's a kind of a underground musician. He plays acoustic guitar and sings. And
Okay.
there's a video of him and some of the other guys from season 7 when they go over the wall and their job is to catch either a White Walker or a Wraith, something like that. They're gonna bring it back. So when they were shooting those episodes, there's some video on the internet of those guys all playing guitars and singing a Tom Waits song. I saw that online the other day.
That's interesting.
So he's actually a good singer and guitar player and had some show fame. And he also used to, in real life, date.
Lena Headley,
Oh,
So
look at
there was a-
that.
Cersei.
And it didn't end well, from what I understand.
No, they
And now they got to work together.
they would refuse to be on set together. So, from what I understand, in the one of the final scenes of season 7, where they bring the White Walker to, oh my God, I feel like an idiot.
Don't worry.
Cut this out, Dolan. When
Keep it in.
Totally keep this in.
Keeping it in.
The White Walker is the scary guy with the weird like reptile face. Yes.
That's the Night King.
that's a Night King.
I don't.
He's the boss of the White Walkers. They're like the zombie fighters.
Yeah.
So he's a White Walker then.
Yeah. So
Kind of, yeah.
in the one of the final scenes of season 7, they bring a White Walker to King's Landing, and it's like this big, all these people assemble. Cersei is there, the Hound is there, Daenerys, Jon Snow, all these people, and Bronn.
Basically Coachella.
Bronn is there, and they wrote in to have Bronn leave so that Bronn and Cersei aren't on set together filming
Oh
simultaneously.
yeah, because he's like, let's go. He
Yeah,
hits the
let's
town.
get out of here or whatever, and let these noble people, argue it out, and they peace out and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's a guy named Braun and a guy named Bran.
Yes.
That's not confusing at all.
There's Melisande and Melisandre. There's a lot of these names that are super similar.
Here's a pro tip if you're
Okay.
like me and
Yeah.
I didn't have HBO for the first 3 seasons.
Okay.
And so I had to catch up quickly to get current in season 4.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to write everything down. I had to write
no.
names and have a chart. I
No,
had
no, no,
all. It was
subtitles.
like keeping score.
Subtitles. Now I cannot watch without subtitles. It's so helpful in the names and
Yeah.
figuring out. And I watch it on Amazon Prime, and you can tap the screen, and it tells you exactly who's who in the scene. It's so helpful.
That is next level.
It is.
Because otherwise, you're going to say, "Whose brother is that? Where was that guy from? What did she do?"
I thought
That's what
he
you're going
died.
to do. Yeah,
Like that type of thing.
which is still half the fun. I usually just say that to the TV.
I think it's because George Martin can't keep stuff straight in his head, and so then he just writes, and whatever goo comes out of his pen is what.
Oh, that's 2 negative things you,
you
said
see,
about him
you
right
see?
there. What's
I
going
just
on,
can't,
Rich?
I can't hold it back. I just
Why?
can't.
What's
No,
wrong?
No.
Let's
I'm
get
not.
into it.
I'll
No.
tell you why.
Okay, Allison, you tell me why.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes,
We all know about it.
he said bad things.
He
yeah,
did.
but you know what?
Don't.
You know what he said?
What'd he say?
Since then, he has talked about it. On Colbert, he's brought it up with
I-
like the world's greatest Tolkien expert.
Everybody apologizes after they realize that they're wrong. I don't think he believes in his heart that he's
I
wrong.
don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's like, will be as famous as him.
I want to punch you in the mouth so bad.
It's how it's gonna be.
Oh man, you can't piss on where you came from after you become famous. At least
I don't
just
know.
acknowledge, be like, yeah, well, whatever. He just straight just hated on it.
Yeah,
And then now he's like, well, now he backtracks. Anyway,
that's like the rap game
I guess
currently.
I guess
That's how you got to do it. You got to have your haters before you can move forward.
before you get big.
Speaking of haters, George Lucas. Hey, George
Yeah.
Lucas. He was on the set this year,
Get
season
out.
8.
Really?
Yeah, episode 1. He was there and just chilling, just hanging out.
Just hanging out because he's George Lucas.
Just made a set visit, so he was there.
All right.
Mr. Anybody here watch Always Sunny?
Yes.
I have, but
Yes.
I'm not a.
Not current.
No.
Well, Mac on that show, he was in. Was it? Yeah, the first episode of this year.
What? Really?
Season 8, episode 1. He's on for maybe a second, and
Just an extra.
he gets an arrow through his eye,
All right.
and he dies.
Yeah.
Also, the drummer from Coldplay has been on the show before,
Really?
and the band Sigur Rós has been on the show before.
So is Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran was on last season.
Really?
Was it last
I
season?
think it was, or 2 years ago, maybe.
Season 6 or season 7, yeah.
Yeah.
He's just singing some little ditty in the forest.
They're just hanging out. Arya runs into their group, and you think she's going to kill them all. Because the show has definitely leans dark. So whenever you see something where a confrontation could happen, you're expecting it to.
Yeah.
So when it doesn't, it's kind of refreshing and light, and that's what happened this time. But then you find out later they all burned to death by the dragon. So he got his face burned up.
Is it like, and I'll bring it back to The Walking Dead because I love The Walking Dead. Anytime something good happens to a character on The Walking Dead, generally they die quickly. Is it the same thing here?
I wouldn't say quickly. It might take a season.
Okay. All right.
But there really isn't a whole lot of good stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what good has happened that would qualify for that type of
Yeah.
circumstance.
And sometimes it's just like, hey, life's okay now because it's a zombie apocalypse and we're growing carrots and everything seems fine and
I can't think of anything that good.
or whatever. Like
They mostly just survive till the next week or
Yeah.
the next season.
For real.
Like that's as good as it gets.
and then get it on with their brothers and or sisters. From what I've heard, that happens a
or
lot.
nieces, aunts, whatever.
You know what I was talking about yesterday?
Wow.
I feel like the only gentlemen in this show that I really like either have been castrated or slept with their family members. And it's true.
This show
Theon,
sounds
he's great. Grey Worm, amazing. Jamie,
Grey Worm.
Yeah.
yeah, Rich, Grey Worm.
Okay.
Jamie, he's on my good side.
He's definitely turned around since he got his hand cut off.
Yeah, he's really.
And
Jon
in that
Snow.
scene, by the way, the people that were cutting his hand off, the actor who did it was supposed to kick him in the stomach, but he actually kicked him a little high and broke his ribs. So he got a couple of broken ribs during that scene.
Well, he was
Oh,
trying to castrate him,
snap.
so right? I
No,
mean-
cut his hand.
Yeah,
Oh,
his
cut his
off.
hand. Okay, I'm
You were
still
thinking of
stuck on
something
the
else.
castration part. Okay, before you keep
Yeah,
going.
keep opening that.
What's next?
I think we want to do that one next
King of the
the
that one.
Mother of
Yeah.
Dragons.
because that's a porter, and that should be a little bit lighter than that stout.
Yes.
And this is the blend. This is a Creek blend. A couple more little quick tidbits for us before we get into that.
Okay.
Mr. Kit Harington, when he went into audition for the role,
Don't pour too much. Yeah, that's perfect.
There we go.
he had a black eye
Okay.
because he got into a fight at McDonald's the night before. Somebody was rude to his girlfriend, so he had to throw down at McDonald's. Who hasn't been there, right?
Well, 3:00 in the morning,
I've
Yeah.
been there.
Things happen.
right?
So this is going to be an interesting beer, and here's why. So is it smoked porter, right?
Smoked porter.
Okay, so that's a tie-in to our Dragon Queen because they're blowing fire and smoke. But a Creek is a sour cherry beer. So we're going to have smoke and chocolate and cherries, and this beer is what it should be reminiscent of.
I should love this. Should.
Should. We'll see. It's a porter, so it's a little bit thinner than a stout, but it'll be roasty and dark.
Well, that's super weird.
Do I try it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And the smokiness comes out at the end.
And the cherry is right up front.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Huh.
I was a little hesitant when I saw that the blend on that, but it turned out pretty
Ooh,
good.
I'm into it. It's
Yeah.
very autumnal.
Ooh, there you go. That's a
What's up?
That's a
millennials word. I love it.
No, it ain't.
It's not
No.
autumnal.
Autumnal?
that's a 50-cent
Artisan.
word.
It's an artisan autumnal beer.
Right? Okay. all right.
So Creeks it's another Belgian style of beer, which ties in with our brewery Ommegang
Okay.
flavor. It's made with sour Morello cherries, which is a kind of cherry that grows in Belgium, but they are running out of those.
Oh, no.
So most people are now using different kinds of sour cherries, or they're using cherry juice. Not unlike the beers that we had, Wisconsin and Michigan, where cherries are prevalent.
Yep.
They are prevalent in Belgium. So that's where this style comes from. They are called, the other cherries that they actually use, Charbixie cherries, which
Oh
are
man,
very
that is
expensive.
so good. It's not as heavy as you think it would
Yeah,
be.
I was a
really
little
good.
concerned too, but it's got a definite red hue, so there's some good cherries in there.
I might ask for a
interesting.
little bit more, Rich.
Yeah, sure.
She was all about small pores, but now she's not. I
This
like
is
it.
Mother
only-
of Dragons over
Only
here.
6.6. This isn't.
Oh.
It's low.
Yeah.
This beer is usually a creek style is either going to have cherries or it's going to have raspberries, and that's it.
Okay.
You'll see these sometimes. Lindemans makes a brand of this,
Yes.
and you'll see those cherry and raspberry with that. So that's an indicator that they're doing it the correct way. You'll sometimes see things like peaches and stuff, but that's not how they did it hundreds of years ago. And then they leave the pits in the cherries when they throw them in.
Why is that?
They don't want to break the cherry open to let any of that juice out.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Why? I don't understand why.
Here's the other thing.
Okay.
It re-ferments because of the sugars.
Oh.
So they throw it in. It's already been fermented. Then they add them, and it gives the yeast a little more pop. Gives it something to do for another few days, and then they strain it out when they're, finalizing whatever. But it's just like another post-boil addition to change the flavor profile.
Sure.
They don't really use yeast so much as they use open air tanks. So they let it ferment by what comes in from the air. Like that's
Yeah.
the old school way, like a Saison and whatnot. So they're, in theory, and this is like how people are with wine, different regions will have a different taste because of the pollen in the air or whatever's happened to float in your tank.
Right.
And that's how these beers are created as
Kind of
well.
like starters with bread. Know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
There you go. Yeah. That's exactly right. And they just scrape off the top, and then there you go.
Yes.
I mean, I know some things about bread. Really
She
into
drinks and she knows things
There you go.
Yeah.
about bread.
Who is Daenerys?
Daenerys.
Daenerys Targaryen.
She is the one with the white hair.
Emilia Clarke.
She's the one that rides the
Yeah.
the dragons. Okay.
I thought, yep,
I've seen
you've
pictures.
seen her. She's
Interesting.
also probably the most famous outside of Game of Thrones, I would say, maybe besides Mr. Dinklage. She's in movies and stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? Jason Momoa, even though he was in
yeah.
one season,
Yeah, one or two.
he's
Sure.
super famous and people are
He is
still
now.
all over him because he was Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he just shaved his beard, and he looks weird.
I heard that.
Oh, I think he looks nice.
He still looks better than me.
True. That's true.
Yeah, I would say Emilia Clarke has been in probably the most. She's probably expanded outside of Game of Thrones the most.
Okay.
Some of these people are going to be typecast for life.
Well, sure.
I mean, that's what happens when you have a show like this, right?
Sure.
Like even on, we're kind of talking Walking Dead back and forth.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's going to happen to Rick.
Oh, Rick Grimes. Yeah.
Even though he was famous before and he was a good actor, he's stuck now, man.
Did you ever watch that? What was that one where he had the signs? What's that one in the
Love
called
Actually.
Love Actually.
Yeah,
What's
there
his
we
name?
go.
What's his name in real life? Something Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln.
Andrew Lincoln.
Okay.
I don't think he'll be typecasted.
Do you know who will be typecasted?
Who?
Daryl Dixon.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Norman Reedus will be the greasy biker guy forever.
But he was in the Boondock Saints, so
Oh,
he was
it's
already
such-
kind of that way, right?
Is his baby mama Diane's? What's her face?
Yes. Yes.
From
and they're
Is it Kruger? Is that the last name?
Diane Kruger. Yes.
German actress.
Isn't his kid's name Mingus?
Mingus Dingus. No,
Mingus.
I don't think. It's
think
named
it's-
after Charles Mingus, the jazz musician.
Mingus, I think so.
That's awesome.
I think it's Mingus. I think.
I
that's
hope
right.
you're right because that makes me
I'm
feel
gonna
good.
look it up.
Alexa, what is Norman Reedus' son's name? Let's see.
Norman Reedus' son is Mingus Lucian Reedus.
There it is.
Mingus.
Mingus Reedus.
Mingus
He's
Reedus.
19 years old.
Yeah.
Oh
Dang.
my goodness.
Mingus Reedus.
They've got
That
a
was-
kid together, don't they?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna find out.
If
Wow.
you've never seen Boondock Saints, you should stop listening right now and go watch it.
No, you should listen to this. Finish
Okay.
this, and
After
then-
you're done listening to this, go watch
Yeah.
Boondock Saints.
So I got a couple more little factoids here for us. Ramsey, the guy that played Ramsey, who I loved, by the way.
You loved Ramsey.
I love that character.
He was such like
It
a.
was terrible.
He was. I would, Cersei, she is evil and mean, but she has love in her heart for her children and her family.
True.
But Ramsay is intrinsically evil, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's no redeeming factors
He has
for him.
nothing good about him, and he is 100% self-serving.
He's also a musician on the side and is a very good singer.
Oh.
I'm going to go to find the music stuff.
Sure.
He almost was cast as Jon Snow. Almost. He was down to like the last 2 or 3. And then he didn't get it. So then they're like, well, actually, we have this other dude, Ramsay Bolton. You might be perfect. He dies, Rich. Spoilers for 3 years ago. His own dogs eat his face off.
Oh.
And
My hounds will never eat me.
that's what he said.
Actual hounds?
Yes, dogs. And she says, well, you haven't fed them for 7 days, and now they're hungry.
Yeah.
He also was in the Netflix film, which Jamie and I reviewed on our podcast, Atlas Now Streaming, called
Nice plug.
The Dirt.
Oh.
Motley
The
Crue.
Motley Crue one.
The Motley Crue.
Who was he in that?
He was the old guy.
The bass player?
Yeah.
Nick Mars or whatever
Mick
his name is?
Mars?
Yep.
Get out, really?
He plays it, and you know what? It's impossible for me to see him as not Ramsay Bolton, but maybe it's because the wigs that they had in that film are so terrible.
Awesome. the hair back in that time was pretty terrible.
Yeah, so that's probably accurate.
Probably. I got to tell you, I love this beer.
This one is my favorite so far.
Yes.
It's super good.
Yeah.
I wish this was like a big bomber and we could just drink this one.
Yep.
The thing about Ramsay's scene, when he is killed, they shot it and it was so graphic that HBO was like, we got to pump the brakes.
On which scene?
When he
HBO?
dies, yeah.
Oh,
They
actually filmed that?
Yeah, they filmed it basically biting off his jaw and then eating a hole in his face. And they were like, that's too much.
I don't want to go back
Where's
to
the deleted scene?
I know. I want to see that.
I don't want to pull it
Commentary.
back to The Walking Dead, but that happens virtually every week.
Not by a huge mastiff.
Yeah.
But by zombies, though. Okay, go ahead.
The main cast of the show makes $500,000 per episode until this season, and now they're making more money. So that's a lot.
Their budget for each episode is about $5 million.
Which is still less than the cast of Friends, probably.
Gross.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
Uh-oh, Allison's
Hodor.
mad at you now.
Hodor? Everybody's favorite Hodor?
I'm gonna stop you right there.
You know about Hodor?
This is possibly the dumbest plot piece of all time. I heard about this. Like,
Oh, Rich.
this is just like this is George Martin. Just like I don't even know.
He's such a hater.
Hold
had-
the door. Are you kidding me?
He had 70 different ways to say Hodor.
Hodor?
70.
It's kind of like a Pokemon.
There you go. For you younger listeners out there.
I don't know much about Pokemon, but I know they can only say their name.
Oh.
Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
I only know that you have to collect them all.
True.
Let's see. What else can I find that's something great? Oh, another singer. Grey Worm. Did you know this?
No.
He has a new video out. He goes by Raleigh Ritchie. And he is actually a darn good singer and songwriter.
Okay, I'm going to have to look
So
him
you
up.
got to look him up.
You know he's one of my faves because he falls into that category. Mm-hmm. Castrated?
You mentioned him.
Or slept with their
Family
relative.
member. One of my other favorites, Tormund, right? Wolfsbane.
Giant Spain.
Yeah, that guy, Giant Spain. He has a big red beard.
Oh,
Even you know him.
the guy that likes Gwendolyn Christie.
Yes.
Yes.
Is the tall lady still here?
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
what he just said.
Are they
Yes.
going to get together at the end?
I don't know. I hope so.
I hope so.
But who do you want more?
Uh-oh, watch
just
out.
spilled.
She got
Elsie.
animated on this.
She got super excited about that part.
Who do I want more?
Dolan, get me a paper towel.
Please.
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 Captain Phasma and Beard Guy,
Bri-
or
Brienne and Jamie, or Brienne and Tormund.
Well, Brienne is not into him, so that's not going to happen.
She's not into either of them, I don't think.
I don't think she is. I don't think she's ever had a chance. We're going to get real here for a minute, Rich.
Okay.
I don't think she's ever had a chance to open her heart. She's been too guarded.
Oh.
She's never even thought about it.
She's been too loyal to her
oaths that she
to her
keeps doing.
oath keeper.
Come on, Brienne. Find a little me time.
We're still talking about the tall blonde lady.
Yeah,
yes. Okay.
that's her name.
Gwendolyn Christie. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Dolan.
Dolan.
She was Captain Phasma in the first
Yes.
episode 7 and episode 8.
And 8, yeah.
Fantastic
Star Wars?
character.
Yes.
She was Captain Phasma.
No kidding.
Yeah, her face is on the Campbell's soup can in my pantry right now that my kid likes.
there we
Star
go.
Wars chicken noodle soup.
Yep.
Anyway, Tormund, the actor, he is from, I think, Finland or Croatia, somewhere like that.
Yeah, he's got a crazy
Name.
name.
He stays in character on set. So even when he's not acting, he's that dude. So he's always like hitting on her in real life and like creeping her out and stuff, farting on her, which is amazing.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I want him to fart on me. He's so handsome.
He farts on people in the show?
In the show, he farted and kind of let it go over, and then when she smelled it, he looked at her and he was like, "So."
Yeah. Oh, that's that meme? Where he's like-
Have you seen that? Yeah, that's what it's from.
that might be reason enough for me to watch the show.
Dude, it's so... I mean, all the great memes are coming from Game of
And
Thrones.
you know what? Season 8, episode 2, this is like Tormund's episode.
Mm-hmm.
He really like dived into what he's all about. And you know what? He's the feminist. He's got like big feminist energy.
He does.
He's like,
Really?
Yep.
screw tradition.
That's right. He doesn't
I-
say that. He says the F word. But
He says
yeah.
the F word and he says F tradition.
Is there a lot of cursing in the show?
Yeah. They
Yep.
say, in England, they're a little more lax on some curse words.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So they say that a lot.
One that starts with a C that's really bad here.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, they say that a lot too?
Yeah.
I like cursing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't get to do it anymore.
Around your
Sure.
kid.
Yeah, but then for me to like make my brain stop and not do it around my kid, I have to stop doing it around everyone. And that was one of my favorite things to do.
Okay.
Let me see, two more real quick ones, and then we'll get into that
But
last
yeah,
beer.
Tormund, he's amazing. And if you didn't know this past episode, he said that he got his name Giant's Bane because he drank giant's milk for 3 months straight from the source.
Uh-oh.
So he killed a giant,
Yes.
and then he snuck into the giant's house and crawled in bed with his wife, nuzzled in for 3 months, and then got real big.
That's what he says.
I like this.
Here.
And then he brings a horn of giant's milk to their little sing-song swan song.
Yeah, they're all sitting
meeting.
around a fire, like having campfire beers, and he's got a huge horn full of milk, and he's just pouring down his face, and it's amazing. It's not unlike Luke's milk
Oh, God.
on the hillside where he's drinking that.
From episode 8.
It's like that.
Oh, God, that was disgusting. So,
So
weird.
wrong.
So weird.
Oh, boy.
Wait, what was that milk?
Oh, I should know the name. I want to say Eope, but I don't think that's right.
I don't know.
Where's it from?
From episode 8.
It's from a monster creature that's on the side of a rock.
And he's just milking this thing, and then he drinks it right out of the
It's like a flying cow.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's green, though.
It is super weird.
ew.
Johnny Walker. They have a whiskey that's called the White Walker right now.
I had it. I had it last week.
And
It's the same.
it's whiskey. The bottle is really cool. And if you put it in the freezer, it says...
It turns blue.
Yeah, but it says something.
I don't remember.
I think it says, like, winter is coming, I think it says on the side of the bottle or something like that. So that's a thing. And then there's a company out there now that is making scotches, like single malt scotches. And there's 8 bottles that are all the different houses of Game of Thrones.
Oh.
And you can buy them, and they are like, the cheapest one I saw was like $80, and they went up to like $230 depending on the blend. Wow. And I don't have that money or like palate. They
No.
were talking about they tied it all these different flavors and sensations you should get and how they tied it to the houses, and I was just like, it just tastes like stingy for me.
Tastes like burning.
That would be wasted money.
No. Yeah.
But if you're into it and you like Game of Thrones, you can get that now.
I want to know how much these brands paid for the rights to Game of Thrones, because for the ladies out there, there's been a collab with a makeup brand, and I can't imagine it was... Oh, my. Thank you. I can't imagine it was cheap.
So I did a little research on that, too. And
On the makeup brand?
no, not on the makeup. brand.
Oh, okay.
Urban Decay, if you're curious,
Urban Decay is what it's called.
is the
That's
makeup brand.
HBO and Ommegang signed this back in 2013
Oh, my.
for very little money. Like they paid very, very little.
Well, that was 6 years ago. So that was before it was a huge, huge show. I mean, it was still big.
But this is it. It expires in 2019. So
End of this year.
yeah,
So.
end of the season, end
Yeah.
of Game of Thrones, end of the agreement here. But it was for, it said an undisclosed amount, but way less than it should have been, is from what I heard.
Yeah, it seems strange because, at least currently, it's probably one of the top 2 or 3 shows on television.
Without a doubt.
I mean, it's something that my mom knows about, and she's never seen a show, but she understands what it is. So it's mom famous, which is a thing.
That's the thing.
So to end up with this brewery is a little strange to me. I mean, this is like Budweiser territory. You know what I mean? Like that sort of level of name recognition.
I mean, Johnny Walker has the rights to this too, and that's up there.
yeah.
Props to them for thinking ahead. Ommegang, right? I mean, for thinking
Yeah.
ahead. And
I guarantee you they've sold way more beer because of that than they would have.
oh, absolutely.
I have a couple at my house that I've been keeping that are like from set because each season they put a different one out. So I have a couple different years.
Of course
different
they do.
Barrel age doubles, and there's a stout. This should be a barrel aged stout, right?
This is the last one, King in the North, barrel aged imperial stout.
So it should be dry, like an oatmeal stout.
Okay.
But it's barrel aged. We should get some like kind of chocolatey notes. What do you think?
I want to say it smells like a Sears, but I don't know. That's weird.
Sears?
Does anybody know? Is that like it's
Like
it's-
the store?
Yeah, it almost smells like
Sears.
like cotton-y maybe.
No,
or like
I don't pick that up.
polyester.
I pick up like a caramel,
I get caramel too. Maybe they have those. at
chocolate, and
Sears?
like dark fruit, maybe.
None of my Sears smelled like that, so I don't know.
I don't want to know what the Sears
almost killed me.
in Kansas are like.
They still have Sears.
No,
No,
Sears are gone.
I was just at the mall where they had the Sears store at Oakview.
yeah.
And they had the caged thing down, but it was all open, and they just had a few security lights, and it's like blank.
It's like
if
ready
you-
for a zombie.
Like if you've ever played Left 4 Dead 2,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
exactly like that.
Yeah,
And I was like, gotta go.
Got to go.
I just saw. So JCPenney is probably next on this, right?
Yeah.
They're probably next. They just.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. yeah.
No, you guys know.
Okay. They just stopped accepting Apple Pay just not too long ago, which seems like a death nail to me. That's pretty much it. Like if you're only like we'll just take cash. Well,
I know a couple of businesses that just
yeah,
take
exactly. No one wants to buy corduroy pants from JCPenney anymore.
that. I know they don't make them really anymore. It's a bummer.
That's my commentary on JCPenney for the.
Oh.
This is good beer, right?
I do like this one.
It's nice and warming. It's got good flavor. It's not too boozy.
Like the IKEA thing that Jon Snow wears.
Yes,
See, I listen.
warm,
It's kinda
inviting,
nice.
soft.
Cozy.
As the imperial stouts that we've drank have gone, this is probably one of the nicer ones.
It's very like creamy
Yeah.
mouthfeel.
I have been impressed actually with these beers.
Allison, I'm really impressed with Allison.
She knows it all. She's
Listening
all about
to
these
her-
tasting
Everything
notes,
I
man.
know, I learned from Tim. Shout out, Dr. Mergens. That's my dad.
Dr. Mergens.
We need to get Tim in here.
Oh, Tim brews his own beer.
We should have him in here.
We need to have one of his beers
I know.
on the episode.
Yeah.
We have a little homebrew special.
You realize we've been doing these for like 20, like how many episodes have we had, Dolan? How many have we had? 20? 30?
30.
Almost.
30 something. Wow. 34.
Wow, 30-something. What a great TV show.
Who was the red-haired guy on that? What was his name?
That's a show?
Yeah.
Oh
was.
my gosh. Allison, how old are you?
Never mind. We take it back.
Are you even in your 30s yet?
No.
No, you know
No.
what? My 28th birthday is in 1 month.
Oh my gosh.
I like it.
My 45th
good.
birthday is in 1 month, so there you go.
Cool.
That's like not that, we're not that different in age.
No.
If you think about it.
No,
I mean, if you really think about it.
I guess not.
What year did you graduate high school?
92.
Okay, I was born in 91.
And there you go.
Oh, checkmate.
Yep.
Hey, Allison, give us the hard sell. If you've never watched this show, why should we watch it?
Oh gosh, okay, let me tell you guys this. This is a little revealing personally. So I resisted Game of Thrones for
Yes.
the longest time. Probably up until 2017, I really resisted. And then there was this guy,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. A boy.
my great white buffalo. which if you've watched Hot Tub Time Machine, you know what I'm talking about. Great white buffalo. They're elusive, hard to trap.
Can't corral them.
No.
No, you can't corral him. So my
Okay.
great white buffalo, he is obsessed with Game of Thrones. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch Game of Thrones so that my great white buffalo and I have something to talk about. And so we did for like a while. Maybe like I was 15 episodes in or so, and then it fizzled out. And I was like, you know what? Game of Thrones is better than trying to pursue my great white buffalo. But it's crazy because there's no other show like it, and I feel like there have been other shows like it who have tried to reproduce this kind of medieval storyline with all these different families, but
Tudors. Yeah.
Not going to mention anybody by name.
Right.
But it just has, you get the opportunity to fall in love or even like grow to hate so many characters.
Yeah.
And the intersecting storylines are so interesting, and I it's hard for me to think about a show with so many different characters with such like polarizing opinions for one, and so many like super strong themes that a lot of people can identify with, like money and family and preservation of your bloodline, I suppose, and power. Like, it's so interesting, and I don't know, it's a lot of people say, and I said it too, oh, it's hard to get past the first couple episodes of the first season. Well, yeah, it's overwhelming. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And you don't really know what's going on. But once you get into it, you fall in love with every character. You have your favorite characters. It's hard for me to pick up one singular favorite character. Maybe like of each house, I could pick my favorite character. But
that's the mark of a good show, I think.
Mm-hmm. And I woke up in the middle of the night last night thinking about it. Like, I woke up and I was like, I don't know what awoke me. Maybe it was a dream or something, but I keep thinking about it. And it's so, and like debating and waiting for so many, storylines to end. It's just, it's so good. And unless you have a personal vendetta against an actor or the writer of the show, Rich, I think anybody can watch this show and find something about it to love.
Sure, I 100% agree.
Look, even Star Wars had its Battlestar Galactica. So I'm saying Lord of the Rings has its Game of Thrones.
Sure.
That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Does Lord of the Rings have pirates?
No.
No, well, this one does.
Well.
Does it have flying dragons?
No.
No.
Well.
Did it? No.
Yeah.
Did it have zombies?
No.
Didn't have zombies. Did it have giants?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did it? Okay.
They had big walking trees.
Did they have zombie giants?
Oh, my gosh.
I guess orcs were kind of like zombies.
Kinda. The orcs were the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Did it have ninjas?
There's no ninjas.
There's basically some ninjas. The sand
people.
snakes or whatever.
Sand snakes,
They
thank
were
you.
basically ninjas.
This is just...
This has courtroom drama.
This is George Martin after like a night at Taco Bell. Like, guess what I'm going to do now?
Yeah, but you know what?
The storylines are
Ninjas.
so much more complex than that.
He created the characters, and that's basically it. He's not like he's writing these episodes. He hasn't had anything to do with it.
And all the main character storylines have so many different character arcs, and they have so much development from season 1 to season 8. There's so many things. And even, things that make people uncomfortable and make you kind of shudder is what makes the show good.
It doesn't flinch. It doesn't pull punches. My favorite thing about it is just the epic scale.
Okay.
Like, there has never been a show that has been bigger than this. Ever. And you get that feeling. You feel like you're watching a movie every time you watch an hour episode.
It's incredible. The production that goes into it is...
And the actors, there's nobody that you could point to and be like, the actors are great except for this guy. Like, they're all amazing. They transform into their characters. The rub against it, I would say, is that it's so big, it's hard to track everything. I don't know if it would be a show that you would want to binge, day after day after day. Because half of the fun for me is like what she's talking about, waking up and thinking, what's going to happen? Like trying to figure it out yourself.
When I started to rewatch it in January in preparation for season 8, I limited myself. Well, I tried. It didn't work. I told myself I was not going to watch more than 2 episodes in a day. And I think I didn't watch more than 3 because there's so much information. There's so many things that happen in every episode. The only thing that I think would be advantageous to a watcher would be subtitles, for one, which is easy, and perhaps a map, because sometimes it's hard to understand where everything is in the realm. But other than that, it's great. And brace yourself, because there's so many different characters, and trying to remember who everyone is and where they're from.
It really has like elements of sci-fi, action, courtroom stuff. It's got love stories. It's got history. It's got all that sort of thing. Anything that's connected in that show.
I think one of the best parts is the family drama. I think that's everyone can identify, like, you know, Arya and Sansa and Jon Snow and everybody, and it's so good.
Even the Lannister siblings, you know.
So wrap it up. How's it going to end?
Projections. I think Allison's thought about this more than anybody.
As we stand right now, as of this recording, 6 episodes left to the end.
4.
4, yeah.
I thought it was
there's
8.
There's only 6.
There's only
6?
6 episodes.
So next episode is episode 3.
Okay.
And this is when they are fighting.
This is going to be the battle with the White Walkers.
Yes. So we will know basically what's going to happen by who survives.
Okay.
Okay, here's my number one theory for this next coming episode. They mentioned about 3 to 4 different times how all the women and children are going to be in the crypt because it's safe. Safest place, safest, safe. They have dead people buried in the crypt. I think the Night King is going to arise those dead people, including, well, Ned Stark's in pieces, but Lyanna Stark, Catelyn Stark, a lot of other people that are buried there. And they're going to massacre everyone that's in the crypt.
These dead people are going to come back to life and kill people?
As White Walkers, yep.
And they're women and kids. That's who's in this crypt.
Sweet.
I think ultimately the Iron Throne is going to be melted or burned by the dragons. And
also, there's a very credible rumor that Gandalf's sword is one of the ones that's in the throne.
I'd be so angry beyond words.
As a tribute. That's what I've seen.
No, don't.
oh,
It's true.
God, that just... Is there a lightsaber in there too? Is that
Rich.
No.
Okay. All right.
Here's what I think.
Brian, what do you think?
So, there's a few things we do know. The Hound has to go down and fight his brother, the Mountain.
Who's his brother?
Sandor Clegane.
Yeah. The guy's name is the Mountain. He died. They brought him back.
Okay.
He's basically a huge zombie.
Okay.
He's scary, man.
He popped somebody's eyeballs out.
Sweet.
Killed him by crushing his head.
Good.
R.I.P.
They're going to go down and have a battle. So you know he's going to survive. They have to. I think they're talking about royal families, and a just king and queen are going to rule over everything, and everybody thinks that's Jon Snow and Daenerys.
No.
We've talked about how we think maybe it's Arya and her dude Gendry.
Who?
That could be.
Who is Robert Baratheon's bastard son.
Yeah.
Gendry's the guy that just slept with the underage girl in episode
She's not
2.
underage.
In the show she was.
He checked her ID.
Okay. All right.
Gendry, he can get it.
And actually, she was kind of the instigator in that whole situation. So
I did watch that. I did see that part.
I'm sure you did.
I think Sansa and Theon are going to have like a moment.
Yeah, I think so
A
too.
deeper moment. They both survived a psychological
Yeah, they were broken.
chapter. And you know what? I think Daenerys is going to betray Jon Snow.
I could see that. She might
Because
follow
he's
her father's
really
footsteps.
Aegon Targaryen. He's the true heir to the Iron Throne, the male heir to the Iron Throne. But you know what? He doesn't want it.
What if Brienne saves Jaime, sacrifices herself, saves Jaime?
Oh,
He
no.
goes back and gets Cersei. What of that?
Oh, I will sue HBO. Class action lawsuit.
That'd be worth it right there, actually.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
So there
right
you go.
there.
That's what we're into.
You know
Rich.
what? You know what? I want Cersei to. This is evil. I want her to like die during childbirth. Because spoiler alert, she's pregnant by Jaime again.
Oh.
I
For
want her
real?
to like
Yeah.
die by childbirth. or something like something where her family that she thinks her family's going to betray her. That has to happen because she's so about her family. Her family's going to betray her. I think Jamie's going to be the one that kills her, or Jamie's son. That's
Kills her from the inside.
You got
turns into a White Walker.
Oh, you guys, there's
zombie baby.
I don't know how they're gonna wrap all of this up in 4 episodes.
Yeah, like 4 hours.
And everyone says I didn't watch The Sopranos, but they say I don't want this to be like The Sopranos, where the ending of it is everyone thinks it's. If you have ever watched it, it's so you think it's gonna be this big climactic ending, and it's really like a huge letdown.
Yeah.
I really don't want that to happen.
We'll see.
I want people to hate George Martin, so that would be my
gosh.
hope. Is that it ends that way? I don't know. There we go.
I would bet over half the people that watch the show don't even know who George Martin is.
You're probably right. They probably just assume this is an HBO production and that's it. Yeah, they have no idea.
Which it is.
Yeah, totally fine with me. So, Allison, thanks for bringing these beers to us.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad that I got to sip and enjoy with some people who can give me some insider info on the beers, and we got to
There you go.
chat.
Well,
Game of
you and I at
Thrones.
least got to
Right, I
talk.
I really
about a
added
show we
nothing
like.
to the conversation. I tried to slip some Walking Dead in there just to.
Yeah, we got that.
There we
And
go.
we got your hatred for Mr. Martin.
We picked it up. Don't worry.
It's on recording.
Next month, it'll be interesting next month. As much as we teased this last week, so all of May, because Brian likes alliteration so much.
I do.
Is mainstream May.
Yep.
So next week is Cinco de Mayo beers.
Yeah.
So anything you would order like at a Mexican restaurant as you're eating a burrito or enchilada or whatever. The week after that, beers your dad drank. That's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of fun. Oh yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I have thoughts.
All right, so we'll have we may have some special guests. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I know one thing. I'll be in some jorts the entire month.
There were some jorts at Target yesterday, like legit jorts.
Not at Sears, huh?
No, sorry, Sears shoppers. We'll see you next week.